BBC's Andrew Marr rebuked Andy Burnham in a tense interview this morning, saying that the Greater Manchester mayor had to give ground in his standoff with Boris Johnson over Tier 3 restrictions. Andy Burnham sparked a standoff with Boris Johnson this week after he resisted government calls for Tier 3 restrictions for the Greater Manchester region. The mayor of Greater Manchester demanded greater financial support for workers, prompting Mr. Johnson to warn he may have to intervene and unilaterally impose a Tier 3 lockdown unless Mr. Burnham backs down. Andrew Marr hit out at Mr. Burnham, insisting the Labour mayor had to give ground and compromise with Downing Street. Mr. Marr said, "If there is going to be some conclusion to this argument, you have to give some ground, surely. You can't simply say give us our money or we won't talk. What is your compromise?" Mr. Burnham denied that his standoff with the Prime Minister was about pressuring the government for a big check. He said, "It's not a case of give us our money, that we are just doing this for a big check." Mr. Burnham added, "It is about people. It's about people's lives, businesses and homes, Andrew." In his interview, Mr. Burnham accused the Prime Minister of exaggerating the coronavirus situation in Greater Manchester. He told the BBC, "It's a serious situation, but I don't think it was the situation described by the Prime Minister." Mr. Burnham also refused to rule out a legal challenge to the Tier 3 lockdown, saying, "I would do anything to protect lower-paid workers." Earlier today, local leaders denied Downing Street's claim that talks have been arranged to resolve a row. Number 10 told the BBC it had arranged a call with Mr. Burnham on Sunday morning, but Mr. Burnham's office said no such call had been scheduled. However, Mr. Burnham did confirm to Andrew Marr that he is expecting to speak to Sir Edward Lister later today to see if a deal can be thrashed out on local lockdown. Tory Cabinet Minister Michael Gove earlier accused Andy Burnham of press conferences and posturing in the row over tougher coronavirus restrictions for Greater Manchester. A group of Tory MPs also urged Greater Manchester's mayor to engage with the government's regional approach to restrictions. In a letter to Andy Burnham and Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer, 20 Conservatives MPs said a national lockdown would impose severe costs on areas with low transmission. Mr. Burnham ridiculed this latter, saying that a demand from Southern Conservatives will not cut much ice up here.